Hi, welcome to How Do They Feel About You? I haven't done one of these for a while, but I just felt I had to do it today, so I've set it up. In a minute, you are going to see 3 piles of cards, which will be numbered for you 1, 2, and 3. We'll have a look at those together, and then I recommend that you kind of take a pause, take a breath, or any kind of, because meditation or taking a pause is different for everybody. Some people are really good at it. They can do the whole, I'm taking a pause, and be all very spiritual. And then people, a bit more like me, are just like, I'm staring into space. Staring into space is a really good thing, okay? So I'm going to show you these, the 1, 2, and the 3. Get your whatever it is on that you need to get on to have a look at the cards, and then choose number 1, number 2, or number 3. And if you go to the description box below the video, I will put a timestamp so you can scooch straight to the one you've chosen and ask the question, how do they feel about me? Where is this going? What's going on? And we'll dig around the whole jamboree until we've got some answers, okay? So, the girls join us, by the way. We've got Leia, that's the one at the back, and Valentine. And let's have a look at the cards. Right. Deep breath. If you need to freeze frame it or you need to pause it, have a pause. If you're attracted to more than one number, don't worry about it. Just look at them both, okay? So good luck with this part, and I will see you on the other side, okay? Namaste. Hi, you chose number 1, and here we are. And I've not seen the cards because when I put these cards together, I do it by kind of meditating, and I don't look. So it's a surprise to me as much as it is to you. See if I can actually fit them in the screen. Oh, wow. Okay. Don't worry, I can adjust the camera a bit so that we can fit everything in. Yeah. Okay. I was just thinking, am I going to do reversals? But I've just answered that question for myself. And let's just zoom the other way. That's better. Okay. I will pick out each individual one for you as well, so we can have a good old riff around each card. I'm going to put him up there so you can actually see him. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. Timing is a big part of this one. I can see that just from a first glance. Okay. There has been something in the connection you have with this person. Let me just press that, which is, it feels like, do you know when sometimes you meet someone, they knock your socks off, or you knock their socks off, or there's a mutual socks knocking off type experience between the two of you. Pow, 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 chemistry, zzz, all that stuff. Ping goes the nickel elastic, the whole bit. But the timing is somehow off. I'm feeling for you, not only is the timing like 3D timing, as in there may have been literal issues like what's been going on in the world for the last 2 years, or your job, their job, life, family, God knows, there's about a million different things that everybody has to fit in. It feels like there's more to it than just that timing, okay? It feels like there is divine timing as well. Now, divine timing, divine timing can be a real nightmare sometimes. I know it has that whole, it's all in divine timing and everything will be good and all that stuff. And that's fine unless you're the one experiencing it. And then you're like, well, I just really actually want this to happen. I don't particularly want to hear about the unfolding of events and the universe has got your back and all that. You're just like, sod the universe has my back, what about my front? Okay. Nevertheless, let's have a look at Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We like this card. It's in the upright. It's a nice card to get. Here we've got the 3 fates. One of them feeds the wheel, one of them winds it round, and the other one cuts the thread. I know, lovely, isn't it? There's something going on. At the moment, I'm making this video in Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrogrades, I don't know, I think it's 3 times a year. I'm not an astrologer, but we all know about Mercury retrograde. I think it's about 3 times a year at least. I think it is, for about 3.5 weeks at a time. In other words, we do spend like a considerable proportion of the year in retrograde. There's something about how they feel about you, your connection with this person and where they're at, that is backwards, it's retrograded, it's past. It could be past life. You will know that part, okay? You will know if you've had a sense with this person and they have also had a sense with you. I know this person. I've known them a really long time. I've known them before. That's what I mean about, you know, when I said your connection with this person may have been intense, you know, kapow and woo. And a bit like, for some reason, I mean, you might have dogs, but I'm seeing, you know, when dogs sniff each other really enthusiastically in the park, and you're like, am I the dog in this scenario, Gemma? Am I the dog? Yes, you're the dog in this scenario, and they're the dog too. And you met in the park and you sniffed each other, and it's like, woo, my senses are up. I know this person. And I do have a point with this, honestly. I'm not just talking about dogs sniffing each other's butts in the park, although I am. Dogs are very intelligent. Animals are, to a certain extent, more intelligent, to a very big extent, more intelligent than we are. They sniff each other out. You and this person have already sniffed each other out. But something about divine timing, real timing, the Wheel of Fortune, I think, has held this person back. You may be asking the question more than how they feel about you. Why are they not coming forward? Okay, we've got the Emperor here in the reverse. You have to excuse, this is a new camera setup, and sometimes I've got the card. I'll share something with you. Go on, number 1. I'll share it with you. I'll bare my soul. I was trying to take a picture for the thumbnail for this video. You'll like this. And I thought, how can I get that square? This is me in this square that you can see. How can I not get that in the picture? And then I realised the square is actually on the video. It's not on my own table. Yeah, that's the kind of day it is so far. There you go. Anywho, you're wondering why they don't maybe come forward as much as you would like them to. We've got the Emperor in the reverse. There is a certain reticence, a certain holding back with this person that I think you can feel. I know you have experienced. And for some of you, this person distanced themselves. We have also the 5 of Cups. This is Eros and Psyche, and this is their love couch. They've spent the night together. There was some like weird Greek myth, as there always is with these myths. She wasn't supposed to see his face, but she couldn't resist it. She took a peek and he was smoking hot. And then he was like, my God, you've seen my face. I'm going to run off and all you were going to get is the tip of my wing. And there it is, the tip of the wing. Tip of his wing is all she's got left. All right, let's see it that way. This person, all you're ever seeing is the tip of their wing. Okay? I can just see you saying this to them. All I ever see is the tip of your wing. By the way, there will be an extended reading to this. So if you get to the end of this video and it really resonates and you feel like you want to dive deeper, I'll do an extended reading. The link will be in the description box. And we do a load of channeling and digging, and we just take it further if you want to take it further, okay? But for now, here we are. 5 of Cups, tip of the wing. This person, Emperor in reverse, divine masculine energy. For some of you, and I hate saying this because I know it's a bit cringy and I don't know why, but it is a bit cringy sometimes. This is to do with the father. When you get the Emperor, you have to ask yourself about your own relationship with divine masculine energy. Is this a pattern? Did this happen with masculine influences in my life? And usually, not always, but usually, the most significant masculine influence in people's lives is the father. Okay, so just ask the question, even if the answer is, God, no, what's she talking about? Ignite that question for yourself, because this person is raising your awareness of your relationship with the masculine and where you've come from and where you're hoping to go. Notice here we've got a Romance Angel Oracle card of religious factors. Now this card, when it comes up, religious factors, it's very much about, and let me just, it's very much about, not just, it can be there are religious differences between you. I think that's the original meaning of the card. But for me as a tarot reader, I've picked up with this that it's got a real, it's often when one of you is very spiritual and the other person is spooked by it, scared by it, or let's say you're very empathic, and I'm kind of picking up that you are. You may be a water sign, okay? Some of you air, but yeah. Or you've got water moon or some water in your chart. Okay, you're empathic. You are a bit psychic. You are a bit whatever it is, you know, people call it different things. I'm a witch, I'm psychic, whatever. You know what your thing is, okay? You've got that thing that you do. And you know things about this person. And weirdly enough, even though I think the communication with this person has not been very frequent or quality or what you would want, they know things about you too, but they don't feel comfortable with it. And that is your religious factors card. Okay, back to the cards. Next to religious factors here I've got, and notice we're in Mercury retrograde, and when you're in Mercury retrograde you look out for the RE words. Religious factors with reconciliation. That's just for those of you that are going, no, Gemma, no. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, reconciliation. There is a coming back around with this one. Just going to put that one up there so I know what I'm doing. There is a coming back around with this one. Okay, there is a... This is weird. Right, normally you get reconciliation, you would say someone might be coming back to you. It's a bit more complicated than that because I feel like they never left. So for some of you, there's not a separation, there's just a distance. And the person's been feeling distant. I think they're feeling regretful. But when this person feels regretful, like they're getting the feels for you, let's say, call it the feels. Like they're remembering something about you, they're thinking about you in that way that you do when someone's significant to you. And yet at the same time, they don't experience that in a very conventional way. So the feelings that they're getting are shocking them. It's almost like that they are not very emotionally evolved. And you are emotionally evolved, but you don't want to lead them by the nose because nobody really wants that. And they don't want to be led by the nose because this Emperor energy is a proud energy. It's a strong energy. This person is a strong person. They are strong masculine energy, but strong masculine energy is not very empathetic. Not usually. That's not the job. That's not their job. They may have quite a masculine job or quite how can I put this? They may have a job where they certainly don't have to mess about dipping into feelings. And they like it that way. I watched a video 6 o'clock this morning. This is what you do, isn't it, when you can't sleep? Well, when you can't sleep in. I was hoping for a sleep in, but it wasn't going to happen. God knows why. It popped up on my YouTube feed. A video on soft skills versus hard skills. And clearly this is why. Hard skills are what gets you the job. So you're a good engineer. You can, I don't know what engineers do. God, took me about 5 years just to set the cards up on the table and there's still a gap. Let's say you're going for a woodworking job and you can really saw straight and you can knock nails in really well, okay? That gets you the job. But the soft skills is how you get on with people, how you relate to people, how you listen to people. The person you are dealing with, and this could be their father too, okay, has not had an experience of softness and love in their life as much as they should have had. I know a lot of people haven't, but we're asking about them and how do they feel about you. So I'm telling you, they haven't had a lot of that experience. And maybe you haven't either. But I feel like you, religious differences here, religious factors, have had a chance to rebuild or find a substitute or process it or whatever you've done, you've managed that and they haven't. So you're dealing here with an unreconstructed person, you know, somebody who I feel actually feels quite deconstructed, like someone took the house down. They may, and this might just be for one or two of you, they may have had an experience in their life where, this is really weird, their roof caved in or the house didn't fall down, but they lost a house or they lost a residence or they moved a lot. Or you did. It feels like this. Okay, then we have this Six of Pentacles in reverse. This is a person who they feel like they want to give to you and they feel like they can't at the same time. This must be a very frustrating experience for you with this person, I'm thinking, because I don't even know why. I'm just picking up that you're frustrated. Like frustrated tears, I can feel that. Four of Pentacles in reverse. It looks like with this person, there may be what I call the emotional dam busters, you know, where they've been holding it in and holding it in and holding it in. I feel like they want to communicate with you and I feel like it will be spluttery and a bit messy and unusual, okay? Keep an open mind. You may be angry with this person and I'm not surprised because I can feel that frustration. I can understand how it may have been not your ideal scenario. And also there's so much potential here that's why you get frustrated, isn't it? Here we have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. This is coming out of dreamland, fantasyland, the land in which they're right and you're wrong. And I think they like that land because that is a very masculine energy environment. I'm right, you're wrong, it's binary, it's a yes or a no, it's a 0, it's a 1. Why do I have these messy feelings that I don't want to eat my dinner? You know, it's like that. It's childish in a way, but we're all childish in different ways. For me, flat pack furniture. Give me some flat pack furniture, I'll burst into tears, I'll melt down, I'll bribe you to do it for me. I'll, tip beans on my head. This person, give them emotions, give them confrontational, I want to talk to you. They want to tip beans on their head. They can't really function in that way. So, Six of Pentacles in reverse, they want to give to you and yet they don't actually know how to give to you. Okay. So, those are those cards so far. Here's the oracle cards for this. I like this. First one, TikTok. You may feel, and I'm not even going to call it impatient because actually you're not impatient. They've just taken their sweet time and it's driving you insane. And that's not because you're impatient. Empaths generally, I'm trying to think, the way that empaths get impatient is not the same way that other people get impatient. So empaths get spiritually impatient. You know that there is a quality top banana connection with this person. You know there is this feeling that You know that it has loads of potential. You know each other. You know that you know things about them. And it's frustrating when you know that, when somebody else isn't letting it be, isn't letting it flow. They're not allowing it. But TikTok says, you think there is a time limit to this. You think they might forget about you. Well, they haven't, for a start. You trouble them. You trouble them in their dreamland, for a start. We'll look at that again in the extended reading. I will look at dreams and I don't know. I'm going to look with this one. I very much get a feeling of your person hiding out. How they feel about you is that they're glad to be in hiding and yet they've got so much to say. So I want to look at where they're hiding, what they're hiding. I'm going to look at that sort of secretive element to it in the extended. We're going to go weird on that. That's what we do on those. But this one, milk and honey. I think you need to know this. I think I need to get the card straight so you can see it as well. God, how do you do this? There we go. Milk and honey. I love this card. There is something for you at the end of this rainbow. And I often, if you watch my dailies, I sometimes work with cards that aren't there. And the card I'm getting for you that isn't here, and it's an oracle deck called Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reid. So you could Google this card, or it might come up in the extended anyway. Is the Rainbow Prince. And I know that perseverance is part of that, the keywords for that card. And retribution. It's like you get there in the end. You get rewarded, I suppose, if you want to call it being rewarded, you get rewarded. You get it. Because we can all be very spiritual about this and there is no end and the journey is everything and all that. Why do people have cabinets full of trophies then? You know, why do you want to put a ring on it? Why is there a destination? There is. There is a destination with this person. There is something at the end of the rainbow if you can stand the frustration in between. And I do understand that this will be a frustrating scenario. This is a very special person. They have very special feelings for you, but they are also quite thwarted in being able to express that. Okay? You may not want, this is about you too, isn't it? And more than them, it's about you. Always about you. You might not want that for your future person. That's a whole different reading, okay? So that's how they feel about you. I'm going to go and do your extended reading for this. The link's in the description if you want to take it further. Do like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Namaste. Hi, number 2. Okay, let's have a look. This is really exciting. Let's have a look down on... Oh, it's never in the right place. There's yours. I haven't even looked at them yet. I never do. I always look at the same time as you're looking. Oh, wow. Put that one there. What I'll do, I think I've zoomed in a bit. It's always good when you can see like the edge of the table. There we go. Don't do reversals on Romance Angel Oracle cards. What's going on? What's going on? There's a lot going on with you. I don't normally sing, so something's going on. Ooh, King of Swords. And the Devil. Told you there was something going on. Let's push these up here. You never know what I can get onto the camera until we get it onto the camera. Oh, wowzers. Whoa. Gosh. I'll look at those in a minute. Those 2 oracle cards. I'm going to get those out at the end actually and put them behind the box there so that we can have a proper look at what we've got here. And I'll also individually hold them up so we can see them better. Right. Oof, crumbs. Crumsy crumbs. Well, we can't deny the attraction. Let's just put it that way. I don't know why we'd want to. I'm like, why would you want to deny the attraction? There's a high degree of attraction towards you from this person. I mean, this Doreen Virtue card looks really lovely and it's all very sweet and she's sniffing a rose and everything. You might have been attracted to number 1 before you chose number 2 as well, by the way. But it ain't all about sniffing roses with this one, is it now? There's a certain animal attraction, that's why you'll know in the number 1, I think this came up a bit, but not quite the same way. Between you and this person, which may make it difficult. It makes it difficult for them to think clearly about you. Let me have some water. They're like, okay. It makes it difficult for them. This person finds it hard to think clearly about you. They think you're smoking hot. So let's just, you know, you can tick that box for a start, because that's one way that they feel about you. King of Swords. So traditionally Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, the air signs. Again, this is somebody, when you get the King of Swords, I'm quite experienced with the King of Swords as a tarot card. This is somebody who is not particularly gushy about their feelings. They can be a bit like their feelings are squared away, like they're locked in a box, like they are, I want to say, a bit secretive. It's just, I often think of the King of Swords as somebody who locks their feelings in a box and then takes the box and digs a hole and, you know, puts that box in that hole and then kind of does a spreadsheet on where he put it. You know, in other words, they pay attention to burying their feelings. So this person, alongside having a big streak of attraction for you, I think they bury their feelings quite a lot. Death card in reverse. You could be dealing with a Scorpio. That is the Death card. Some of you may be a Scorpio. There's a level of resistance to something with this person. And that Death card is kind of looking in on this 6 of Swords. It feels like, I don't know if you've broken up and got back together with this person like different times, or it just feels like there is a certain, not coldness, but maybe even a slight stubbornness about this person. It's reminding me of a dog I walk for a friend. And such a nice little dog. If that dog decides it doesn't want to go, and this is a small dog, it's a miniature dog, okay? If it decides, which it does sometimes, it's not going down this particular road, it just completely parks its body. It's like, and you end up looking like an idiot, dragging this dog on a lead. There's something about the person you're dealing with where they park their feelings, or they have parked the intellectual side of their feelings. They can't park the other side. because you just can't. That kind of attraction can't particularly be switched on or off, but I don't think they're very comfortable with that either, because it sort of busts their boundaries in a way. And this is a person who I feel is very, very boundaried. Very boundaried. When you get the Death card in reverse, there is some growth that is needed for this person. And that growth is probably around emotional expression and availability. You may have very good banter with this person, or very good like intellectual sparring time with this person. It feels like that. But there is also a bit of a shadow side to this, with this attraction here and the Devil card here. You know, we never ignore the Devil. God, if I can even get it on the screen. We never ignore the Devil in a tarot reading at all. And when he comes up next to the King of Swords, you may find the person you're dealing with is quite neat, quite tidy. I said spreadsheet. I mean, that is not... I use the S word. That is not a word I use lightly. Their life might be quite organised. They might organise their sock drawer, you know, that kind of thing. It feels like there needs to be a breakthrough here. It really feels like there maybe has been. And that breakthrough for some of you might have been a big row or some kind of disagreement. Because I've got here, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you, okay? Pay attention to the red flags. I think this is a person who looks for red flags everywhere they go. They are uber cautious. They may, you know, double lock the door and then do all that kind of jazz. It feels like they double lock their heart and do that kind of jazz. And it feels like you're going through, or they're going through a bit of a cycle with this. We've got this World card here. Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. In my end is my beginning. Again, there is a circular kind of thing to this. It feels like you've been here before with this person, but it feels literal, like you broke up and got back together, or there's been some progress but it hasn't really carried on. Two of Pentacles in reverse at the top, not fitting lives together. This is when the juggling card. It's when your hours don't fit, or your lives don't fit together, or there isn't a kind of there isn't enough shape to things in the 3D. This may have been a situation that was a situationship as well, with a lot of attraction, but maybe you haven't had the chance with this person to lay down what's happening and the guidelines and the boundaries and all of that stuff. Also with the King of Swords and the Devil together, it just feels like it's on a point. If you look at the King of Swords here, there is a sword of truth. It feels like the whole situation for them and how they feel and what they're thinking and what they're doing and all of those things is balanced on this sword of truth, and they're trying to put it to some kind of intellectual test like a Libran would with the scales, you know, when you get the scales here, and they're weighing things up. And I think we all know by now that that doesn't really get you anywhere, but I don't think that will stop them from doing it at the moment, okay? There will be an extended reading to this. I do in the extended reading channel and do more weird cards, and I do love oracle cards, and we have a good old dig. So If this one resonates with you particularly, when you get to the end of the video, you can go and get the link for the extended in the description. And I think in that I will particularly pay attention to the King of Swords and the Devil and have a look behind it, actually, at what's going on with that. You get two very interesting oracle cards. It's probably easier to look at them like this, actually, with the light like that. Time to go. Now, those of you that watch my daily readings, this comes up, you know, someone's going off in a tutu, no less. If you're ever going to go, why not go with fairy lights and a tutu and some bunting? I mean, crumbs, that's the way I want to do it. This is what I mean with this time, and this is the opposite. You get happy, happy. This person does hold a key for you. They do, in a weird way, know how to make you happy. They want to make you happy. They feel like there are some red flags. I think you feel like there are some red flags too. So let's face it, there's probably some red flags. Are they red flags or are they bunting, you know? Down here, this card next to the Death card, we had this Six of Swords. There is a need to move away from critical thinking. I feel like the person you're dealing with is a critical thinker. They may be very intellectual, a teacher, a professor, or maybe it's just in their hobbies, you know, that they have that element to them. But it feels like they want to be able to put relationships in that metric. Like if they were a mathematician, they'd be like, you know, Matt Damon, you know, when he's in that film that I can't remember the name of now, Good Will Hunting, and he's doing like loads and loads of kind of maths on a board, and they'd be trying to work that out, you know, can I work it out like this? Can I work it out like that? No, you can't. But it feels like they want to. And maybe this is the experience you've had with them. They would like to move on with you because we've got that Six of Swords. We also have this lovely honeymoon card. Time together. The bliss of holiday time together. Now, all holiday time means is time when you're not at work. There is a problem for you and this person in getting time together. There is a problem for them. I think they might be a workaholic for some of you, in finding time or allowing time. And then there is this, that Devil card. They certainly have this overwhelming attraction. You probably have that overwhelming attraction for them too, okay? It may stop you questioning anything else. You know, this pay attention to the red flags is like, well, okay. Sometimes, you know, particularly when the chemistry is really, really hot, and particularly in the first few weeks or few months, it can make us quite oblivious to what's going on underneath, you know. And I don't feel like this person is particularly secretive. I think they're quite open about how they are and who they are. But I do think those feelings that are locked in, you may have walked already with this time to go. They may always be ready to walk if it's too messy for them. This feeling that love is messy comes across a lot. I think in the extended of this, I am going to look at the quality of this going forward, the potential of this going forward, you know, where this could get to and what the drawbacks are and what you need to look out for and how to do a balancing yourself. Never mind the King of Swords doing it with his scales. You doing it with yours, okay? So if this resonated and you want the extended, the link's in the description box. Do like, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We do picker cards, we do daily readings, we do monthly readings, all sorts of stuff. And I'll see you soon. Namaste. Hi, number 3. Okay, what do we need to know for you? Valentine's having a wash. I can tell you that. Can you see? I don't know which side it is now. There you go. She's awake. She's having a wash. She's like, come on, I think Valentine chose number 3. That's what it is. Right, what do we need to know about number 3? Let's have a look. There it is. Dun, dun, dun. I never look at these, so I don't know what the cards are. Let's just zoom out because I've been on a bit of a zoom-ish. Okay, that's better. And then we'll zoom in again to have a look. Ooh. Put those to one side. Oh. Some of you are waiting for someone to get in touch and you're waiting for someone to return. Excuse me, I've got allergies at the moment. Woof. Okay, there's 2 oracle cards. I'll put those to one side because we're going to look at those in a minute. I'm going to put these here. And then have a little old zoomy old in. That's a bit better, isn't it? And we'll look at some cards individually. And I'll itch my nose because I've got allergies. Right, okay. Number 3. Doing a little number 3 dance. And we're limbering up. Can you see here we've got release your ex, heart-to-heart conversations, and very soon. So for some of you, and I'm making this video in a Mercury retrograde in Libra, so for some of you, and this is always the case with Mercury retrograde, and I know we say, oh my God, what a cliche, you know, someone's coming back, Mercury retrograde. Some of you, this is about a conversation that you want to have with an ex. Okay? Have you released them? This is the question. What is going on with this person? There is the energy here of, and this has been a bit the case in each one of these readings actually, and it's not surprising, and it's probably what you get when you do something in Mercury retrograde, because that's the energy that the universe is in. Just check my microphone is still on. And it feels like you may have reached a point, some of you, where, you know, when you really want someone to speak to you, you really want to have that conversation with someone, you've got something to say, you know they've got something to say to you, we've got this heart-to-heart conversation here, and, you know, it needs to be had, it needs to be said. And yet they're not, and you just haven't got that communication, you don't know how to approach it. It feels like you need to a certain extent yourself to have released this person before they can come to you. And also you may find that the person you're dealing with needs to release somebody too. It may be you, and that's weird, because this release your ex, they may need to release you before they can talk to you. Or at least what was the past, you know? There's a lot of past in these readings, but this is very soon. This is future. Heart-to-heart conversations. Release your ex. Very soon there will be a heart-to-heart conversation. This person wants to speak with you. They want a heart-to-heart conversation with you, and this is something I think that may have been troubling you, and that might be why you're here. And I like that little trio of cards together. It warms my cockles, number 3. It warms my cockles. It's nice. It's a nice vibe for me. Then we have here the Queen of Pentacles. Now, let's try and get her in the right place. In my daily readings, we call her the Queen of Velvet Waiting. Because this is the card I get when you've been waiting for somebody. But it's when you've reached a point normally where it's not so much waiting anymore. You are kind of happy where you are. You think, this is okay, I can do this. You know, she's holding the grapes and she's holding the coin. And this is where you get, let's say you're doing law of attraction, you're doing manifesting. And You're getting to that point in the manifestation where it almost doesn't matter if it turns up or not, because you're getting the feelings now. And if you're not doing this, number 3, you should be. Okay? Because it feels like if you can get to that point with very soon where you feel like the energy of this person is here, and the energy of whatever it is, this heart-to-heart conversation that you want to have with this person. Let's say you're not able to have that heart-to-heart conversation with them at the moment. Meditate. Have that conversation. Don't put words into their mouth. You don't need to do that. They don't even need to talk back to you. There doesn't even need to be any words, and this is weird. You can do this by just visualizing in whichever way you can do that. And some people visualize by faces. Some, it could be triangles, it could be shapes, doesn't matter. Visualize a meeting and a conversation and the feeling of it, okay? Not the actuality of it, but the feeling, the relief, the clarity. It's like, oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You can even just visualize you leaving their house and going, I'm so glad. Or them leaving your house, that would be better, and saying, I'm so glad we had a chance to have this conversation. I feel so good about what we talked about. That is enough visualization, okay? But this little trio, it's a very nice little trio. I like it. I like the way that you've gone about your business with this. I always like the Queen of Pentacles. I think that she's an elegant queen. I think that although she wants what she wants, she has grown a bunch of grapes and produced a big dollar while she's waiting, you know, and that's not waiting, is it? That's creating. That is the difference. If you're not in that energy, check out some of the people. If this is what you want, check out some people like Agnes Viverelli, Agnes Viverelli. Who else? Erin Doughty. There's loads of people who do manifesting specific person and love videos and all that kind of stuff. 10 of Wands in reverse. One of you or both of you has to reach the point of surrender. Your person's been under an awful lot of pressure somehow. This is a pressure card. Let's look at it. Let's do it on the this one. This is a pressure card. This person, in a certain extent, has burned their bridges. This person may feel they've burned their connection with you, that they've broken it. They feel the pressure of that. They feel the pressure of their life. They feel the pressure of God knows what. Could be money, could be work, could be whatever it is, but there's a lot of pressure. After a certain point, and they feel a pressure about you, I think, which is a good pressure. Come to a certain point with the 10 of Wands, which is great, which is where you can't take that pressure anymore. You drop your stance, you drop your defense. The 9 of Wands is a card where someone has got a load of wands and they're like, I will build my fence, I will make my fortress, no one will put this asunder. You know, maybe they don't say asunder, but it's good to say asunder now and again. Okay, when you get to the 10, it's like the 9 is like this whole tension and I will protect myself. And your person has made a very good attempt at protecting their heart here. It's like, nobody will get this wall down. I have grown it with sticks. And then 10 of Wands, it's like, sorry, I was going to set fire to it. It doesn't work. It's like, I surrender. The white flag goes up. Get me out of here. Torch it. I'm done. You know, that's what that is. Sorry, that was quite dramatic. When it's in reverse, even better. You know, some cards work a lot better in the reverse, and that is one of them. It's like, let it go. Your person has to, or has already, I don't think they have yet, reached this point of surrender. Now down here, the oracle card I've got is the tribe. Who is in their tribe? This is what they're assessing at the moment. Are you part of their tribe? But it's not just you, they're assessing everybody. You know, sometimes we go through these phases in our life where we kind of look at who we're working with and who we're living with and who we interact with online and who we interact with face to face, who are our friends, who are our family. And we have a good old rummage and a think, and sometimes a sort out and sometimes a chuck out, you know, of who those people are. And I think your person is going through this in their life at the moment, and they're finding out who their tribe is. And I think the answers for them are going to be quite surprising. So I'll put the tribe over there. We know what that is now. Okay. Page of Cups. This is a nice card. This is the card when someone wants to apologise, come forward. It can be like the initial opener card. It's a shy card. It's a young page. He's not become the knight. He's not gone and got a horse. He's not the king. You know, he's got no real authority in what he's saying. He's just, and in some tarot decks like the Rider-Waite, which I really like, he's stumbling about. He's got a fish in a cup and he hopes you'll like it, but he doesn't know. And it's like, you almost smelly fish. It's in a cup. This Page of Cups, again, this is Narcissus, interestingly. So you might be dealing with somebody that just has a bit of self-consciousness about them. They're shy. I feel like you're dealing with someone here who's shy. Now, if this resonates with you, there will be an extended reading to this at the end, okay? So there'll be a link in the description box. You can click on that, and I will take this further and dig deeper and all the rest of it. So just to let you know that, and you will know if this resonates with you by the end of the video. In that, I think we're gonna look further at this release your ex, at the shyness of this person, of the heart-to-heart conversation, and of that 10 of Wands. Okay, this Page of Cups, it's a small thing. It's a text message. It's liking something on social media. It's not, you know, Knight of Cups is like, da-da, I have got you some garage flowers and some Prosecco from the shop, and here I am. Rose between my teeth. How do you like them apples? You know, I would never make a seducer, would I? I have bought you a Twix. But this is small. This is not elaborate. It's not the big gesture that you've been hoping for. You know I'm a very honest reader. I'm not going to glitter the turd, but it is an opener. Okay, this person is shy. You may need to give them some credit for coming forward at all, or you may not if you don't feel like it. It's up to you. You know them, you know the situation. I get it. Over here we've got the 9 of Swords. They've had some long, dark nights of the soul, the person that you're asking about. This is the card of the 4 a.m. You know, it's the demons, it's the bad thoughts. They're worried. If you're in separation from this person, they're worried that you've found someone else. Have you found someone else? I'm not saying that in a critical way. Christ, no. Good for you. Are you talking to someone else? This is what's going through their mind. This is how their mind is working. I don't think that they would admit that to you particularly, but that's the pretty thought patterns that they have as they're nodding off. They're not counting sheep. They're counting the likes on your Instagram page. They're counting who you're friends with, what you're doing. If you've been sowing a few seeds and putting some pics up, or if you've been, whatever you've been doing, even if you've been doing absolutely nothing. I mean, that's quite funny sometimes, isn't it? When somebody thinks that you've got it going on and you've got all these suitors at your door and you're like, well, I'm not gonna disabuse them of this, you know, I'm not gonna stand in their way if they think this. But sometimes, you know, you're in your elasticated trousers, you're watching The Bachelor on Netflix, or whatever terrible stuff I do in my spare time, or whatever your terrible thing is that you do in your spare time, you know, pints of ice cream and why haven't they called and all that stuff, and they think that you've got it all going on, and I feel like they feel tortured. They feel tortured. You may have made a move recently, a very Queen of Pentacles move. It's like, me, these old grapes, you know, that kind of thing. Good for you. And then we have, Temperance. Oh, That's weird. Okay, I've gone on to a weird. That's quite good, isn't it? That has me and then it has the cards in the corner. I didn't even know I could do that. Number 3, you're blessed. You're getting technology I never knew I had. Wow. Comment and let me know what you think about that, because I'm quite into that actually. One day I'll actually learn how to use this stuff properly, won't I? Okay. Because I can take it from there and I can put it over. Oh my God. I'll use this in the extended as well. Now I know how to do it. Okay. Temperance. Your only job here is to play with the energies. Okay? Your only job, if you can, and this isn't always easy, is to be the Queen of Pentacles and be happy and not be waiting. She's the Queen of Velvet waiting, not the Queen of sitting in a sackcloth. I haven't eaten in hours and I can't sleep because I can't stop thinking about you, and you know, I haven't scrubbed up in days. That is not who she is. She's put together, she's grown some nice grapes. She might make them into some wine or get someone else to do that for her actually. She's got the crown. You know, it's all going on. This is you right now. This is you. I'm just saying, this is you, okay? I'm obsessed with that box now. This is great. Okay, and then we have the Knight of Swords. This is the message coming towards you. I like this. So you may be dealing with somebody, if we look down there, you may be dealing with somebody who is not direct at all and then very direct, okay? And I like that energy. It feels like they take their sweet time coming around to saying something. I'm not going to lie, you know, that Page of Cups is a small thing, but it becomes a big thing quickly, particularly if you're in this mentality and particularly if they've already reached their point of surrender. I know, I shouldn't be so gleeful about this, but I'm quite gleeful about it on your behalf. Oh. I'm never going to get used to this, am I? Serendipity. This is a nice card. There is a bit of luck for you here. Whatever your situation is with this person, the universe wants to push it forward for you, almost whether you like it or not. You know, you might not. You might think, Christ, no, I'll release them. Ciao. But no, the universe wants this heart-to-heart conversation to happen. And it's going to make it happen one way or the other, okay? I'm going to go do your extended reading number 3. I like this a lot. It does warm my cockles. If you want to take this further and we're going to have a big old dig, I know, I'm in the mood. The link's in the description box. Do subscribe to the channel as well, help support the channel. And I will see you soon. Namaste.